Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to today's online session of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. Students, we are going to start a new chapter today of your accountancy. Chapter 18, Financial Statements of Sole Proprietorship. In your business study subject, you have learned different forms of organization. In that, you have learned that sole proprietorship is a form of organization in which a single person runs a business. He is the only person who is investing capital, earning profit for himself, and taking all the risk for himself. In this chapter, we will learn how a sole proprietor's accounting procedures are undertaken. So, the name of the chapter is Financial Statements of Sole Proprietorship. Here is the topic related to this chapter: meaning of financial statement, objective, need, importance of financial statements, users of financial statements, classification of capital and revenue items, preparation of trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet, grouping and marshalling, classification of assets and liabilities, methods of presentation of financial statement, that is horizontal form and vertical form. Let us discuss each of this topic one by one. Here is the meaning of financial statement. Financial statements are the statements prepared at the end of the accounting period to determine the financial performance, that is profit earned or loss incurred during the accounting period, and also the financial position of the business as on the date. So children, what is basically a financial statement? It is a statement which is prepared by a businessman or a sole proprietor at the end of the accounting period. Why does he prepare this financial statement? So that he can determine his financial performance. He is interested to know whether he is earning profit or incurring loss in the business during the accounting period. Okay. And one more reason for preparing financial statement is to know the financial position of the business on the date. So there are two main reasons for preparing the financial statement, and that is to know the profit and loss condition of the business, that is performance, and to know the financial position of the business. Okay. Now, a complete set of financial statement includes. So what does this financial statements actually includes? It consists of preparation of trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So it is a set of 3 accounts, or we can say 2 accounts and a 1 balance sheet. So trading and profit and loss accounts and a balance sheet. This all set is together known as final accounts. So if you are asked to prepare a final account, you have to prepare trading account, profit and loss account, and a balance sheet. Okay. Objectives, needs, importance of financial statement. Why we prepare this financial statement? As I told you, financial statement consists of 2 set of account. One is trading and profit and loss account, which is also known as income statement, and the other one is balance sheet, which is also known as position statement. So from each of this set, what are the objective behind preparing trading and profit and loss account? Let's check out. The first objective of preparing trading and profit and loss account is to determine the gross profit or gross loss. By preparing trading account, we can come to know the gross profit or gross loss of the business. Then the second point is to determine net profit and net loss. The total or net, the final result, that is net profit or net loss related to our business, can be determined when we prepared profit and loss account. Okay, so gross profit and gross loss can be determined by preparing trading account, and net profit and net loss can be determined by preparing profit and loss account. Third point is comparison with the previous year's profit. We can compare our profit and loss account and trading account, which is together known as income statement, with that of the previous year. Okay, so comparison, making a comparison means we can find out in which area we are improving and which area we are lagging. Then those areas we can correct. Okay, so the comparison can be that is one objective behind preparing such financial statement. Next point is details of expenses and incomes. By preparing profit and loss account, we can come to know about different types of expenses incurred and income earned, okay, in that business. Next point is we can determine the reserves which is set aside. Reserves are that amount which is set aside in a business for some future purpose, business purposes. So that can be, we can come to know more about our reserves, okay, if we are preparing trading and profit and loss account. Then accounting ratios, which is one of the chapter in your +2, and so that ratios is a summary of, or through these ratios we can go in detail with the study of this financial statement. So for preparing the ratios, this trading and profit and loss account is very much useful. So these are the different objective needs and importance of preparing trading, profit and loss account. Now what about balance sheet? How does the balance sheet help us? Balance sheet, which is also known as position statement. So a businessman can come to know about the position of his business if he is preparing a balance sheet. So ascertaining a financial position is the main objective of behind preparing a balance sheet. Here also we can compare the balance sheet of our company or business from that of the previous year. Then determining solvency position. Solvency means whether our business is capable of paying all our obligations or liabilities, that we can determine with the help of looking into the preparation of a balance sheet. So our solvency position can be determined if you are preparing a balance sheet. This was about the objective of financial statement. Now we can classify two items related to this financial statement, and that is capital item and revenue item. Okay, now let us classify them. Let us see on what basis they are classified. After the trial balance is prepared, the accounts therein are transferred either to trading account or to the profit and loss account or to the balance sheet. Students, you know very well that with the help of source document you prepare a journal entry. From this journal entry you prepare a ledger. From the balances of ledger we prepare a trial balance, and it is from this trial balance that we prepare a final account. You know that final account consists of three set of items, that is trading account, preparation of profit and loss account and balance sheet. So it is from trading trial balance that we prepare our financial statement, that you have to understand. Next point, entries in the trial balance which are of revenue nature are transferred either to trading or to profit and loss account, while entries of capital nature are transferred to balance sheet. So in your trial balance there are some items which are of revenue nature and some items that are of capital nature. revenue nature items will be transferred to trading and profit and loss account, whereas capital nature of transactions or entries will be transferred to balance sheet. Next point. Going concern assumption allows classifying expenses and receipt as capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital receipt and revenue receipt. So if we know the concept going concern assumption, that means we assume that our business will run for a long period of time. With that point as a basis, we can classify our expenses and receipts in these 4 ways, that is capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital receipt and revenue receipt. We will study in deep what are these 4 different categories of classification. There are some rules for classification of expenditure as receipts, as revenue and capital. Okay, so when we are classifying the items according to capital expenditure and revenue expenditure, certain rules are there on the basis of which these items are classified in these 2. So let us go through these rules. Capital expenditure. What is this capital expenditure? Capital expenditure is the expenditure that gives benefit for a period or periods beyond the accounting period. So children, you have to understand that capital expenditure is that type of expenditure in which give us benefit for a long period of time. When we are spending money on capital expenditure, we will get benefit from that for a long period. For example, if you are purchasing a machinery, that machinery we will use for production of our product. So children, you are spending a big amount for purchasing that machinery, and that machinery will give you benefit in the form of creating a revenue for you, isn't it? So such expenditure which give you benefit for a long period of time, that will be termed as capital expenditure. Following types of expenditure are usually accounted as capital expenditure. Let us see some examples of capital expenditure items. The first one is expenditure incurred for acquisition of fixed assets. So if you are acquiring some fixed asset, the money spent on purchasing this fixed asset will be termed as a capital expenditure. So fixed asset purchase is which type of expenditure? Capital expenditure. Okay, because fixed assets gives you benefit for a long period of time. Next one, expenditure for the extension of or improvement of fixed asset. So if you are if you are replacing or if you are installing some doing some modification in your fixed asset so that it can produce or it can go for a more production, improvement in production, then that type of expenditure is also known as capital expenditure. Next is expenditure incurred to bring the fixed asset to the place of their use and expenditure incurred on their installation or erection. So if you are purchasing a fixed asset and transportation costs incurred, installation cost incurred, erection cost incurred on this fixed asset will also be treated as capital expenditure. Okay. Next point, expenditure incurred for reconditioning of old fixed assets. So if we have some set of old fixed asset in our business and we have to recondition it so that it becomes working properly, so that expenditure is also known as capital expenditure. Then expenditure incurred to acquire the right to do the business. So license, acquiring a license to run the business, that all are also a capital expenditure. Then expenditure incurred for purchase of some intangible asset. Okay, so that is also termed as capital expenditure. Next point is legal expenses incurred for acquisition of a fixed asset. So if we had to pay any legal expenses for acquiring any fixed asset, that type of expenses is also classified into capital expenditure. So these are some list of items coming under capital expenditure. Just understand and the concept related to this. Now, capital expenditure is debited to relevant fixed asset account and is shown in the balance sheet. So you have to understand that if there is any item related to capital expenditure, that will be debited to that particular fixed asset account, and then it will be shown in the balance sheet also. Okay. Now, related to revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure is the expenditure benefit of which is consumed or exhausted within the accounting period. So within 1 year, the benefit of revenue expenditure will be exhausted. Okay, that will be consumed up within 1 accounting period. Next point is, the first point is expenses incurred in day-to-day running of business such as rent, salaries, wages, etc. So suppose our business is situated, the building in which our business is running is on rent. Okay, so we have to pay rent every month. The benefit of that will be only for 1 month. Okay, after 1 month we have to again pay the rent. So those expenditure, the benefit of which is consumed within the accounting period, within 1 year, the benefit of such expenditure will expire. Such expenditures are known as revenue expenditure. Next point is expenses incurred for repairs and maintenance of fixed assets. So if we are going for any repair or maintenance of fixed asset, that expenses will come under revenue expenditure. Then expenses incurred on purchase of stock of material and goods to the extent that they are used during the year, the remaining amount will be an asset. So if we are incurring some expenses on purchase of some stock of material, then that will be termed as revenue expenditure, and depreciation on fixed assets will also be termed as a revenue expenditure. Okay, because every year we have to charge depreciation, and so that type of expenditure will be termed as revenue expenditure. And those expenditure which gives us benefit for a long duration, that will be termed as capital expenditure. Now where are you supposed to post? What is the accounting related to revenue expenditure? Revenue expenditure is shown on the debit side of trading or profit and loss account. So this is where you have to record the revenue expenditure, that is, you have to debit revenue expenditures on the trading account as or profit or loss account. So this is the rules of classification of capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Now let us see the classification of capital receipt and revenue receipt. Receipt means what? You are receiving something. So there are two types of receipt. Capital receipt is there and revenue receipt is there. So capital receipts are the amount received by the enterprise that are not income. So see, a businessman, if they are doing some business or that is selling some product and they are incurring some income, that will be termed as revenue receipt, because they are it is in their normal course of business they are doing that and they are earning some revenue. So those revenue which is earned as a normal course of business in a daily basis, that is known as revenue receipt. But capital receipt are the amount received by the enterprise that are not of revenue nature. Suppose we have sold some fixed asset of our business unit and we receive some income from that, that will be termed as capital receipt. So sale of fixed asset reduces the fixed asset. Thus, the amount received is not revenue earned in the normal course of business. They either increase liability or decrease asset. Hence, these are shown in the balance sheet. So capital receipts are shown in the balance sheet and revenue receipts are shown in the trading account or profit and loss account. Which side? Credit side. Okay, so both are receipt means we have received some amount, but capital receipts are receipt which is of not a regular business nature, and sometimes if we sell the fixed asset and if we are earning some income, that will be termed as capital receipt. And revenue receipt means whatever is our business, is it selling of some product, and after selling that product, if we earn something, that will be termed as revenue receipt. Okay, so we have come to a conclusion of today's class. We saw meaning of financial statement, objective needs and importance of financial statement, classification of capital and revenue item. Okay, so you have to go through these topics once again, study thoroughly, because it is a very important chapter from your +2 point of view also. This chapter's base is very important, so study it thoroughly. Attend the test paper attached. Write down the notes in your accountancy notebook. Meet you in the next class, where we will study some more detail about financial statement and do some problems also related to this. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.